Hello, welcome to episode 49. Wow. This is
Wow.
Lori.
This is Eka. Hello, ladies.
Je suis
Oh
effet.
god. Oh
Uh-huh,
god.
uh-huh,
Bonjour, ça
uh-huh, uh-huh,
Oh
uh-huh,
god.
uh-huh.
Oh god. Like all these young ones. I don't really
So
understand.
come again.
Anyway, okay, let's start with the gist. So I had two
Yes.
let me take
Okay.
one of the gist first, then we'll do the other gist, and I'll punt to UFA for the other gist. The first gist I wanted to take was foreign. So you know how the government changed the rules around money transfer, where
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
before you could like send money in dollars and it would deposit directly to your naira
Accounts, yeah.
account, or you can have someone pick up in naira, right?
mm,
So they changed it, I think early this year or late December last year, where the only way to get a money transfer money, that's Western Union, World Remit, whatever app it is, right? The only way to get money when you transfer it is in dollars or in the forex. I think it's in dollars, but so whether you
It's
I don't
just dollars, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
dollars, yeah. So that means that you either have to transfer it to your DOM account, right? Or you have to have
mm,
someone pick it up for you in dollars and then do whatever you want to do with it. So
yeah.
clearly, I think that has which made no sense for two reasons. If you are abroad and you send money to your DOM account, that money can have entered or may have entered voicemail because there are many restrictions on what you can do with your DOM account, how much you can withdraw, per time and things like that, right? So anyway, I'm seeing all my banks, all of them that I use, all three of them, as of this morning or this weekend, all sent emails saying that if you send money to your account, you would or even in person, right? They will give you 5 naira for every dollar, right?
Are you
Obviously,
serious? So they
yeah.
need dollars for what?
Thank you. They want to
Hmm.
Ah,
I
God.
think people stopped transferring because that was the issue, right? Because to me, because what you send to your account and nobody knows. Now you have to call one cousin. Can you help me go and pick up?
The
And one
money,
cousin
yeah.
knows the amount that you moved. Bills start coming, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think people just stopped, right? Or
Mm,
maybe if someone is traveling back, please, help me
Carry the money, or
carry the money.
somebody who has
Dollars here,
naira in, yeah, somebody who has naira in
exactly.
Nigeria will
So
just transfer.
yeah,
Yeah.
so people have found workarounds around the banking system. So now they're not trying to incentivize you, right? So
uh,
clearly, it's not a working, and this is the issue with this country. It's not a working process, as you have seen now, right?
yeah.
Why not
They won't
repeal the policy?
reverse. No, they will
Exactly.
not.
Yeah, you offer me five. As in, is it 5 naira that is going to make me change? As in,
Exactly. It
five
doesn't
naira,
make sense.
$1 is now 460. Abi. So is it 5 naira that will now move me?
Hey,
You get what I
no.
mean? So for me, I mean, obviously they can offer more than that because you're trying to incentivize, right?
And
And
it's
you
coming
cannot
from the bank's pockets,
the
no?
banks, yeah,
You see?
yeah. So effective March 8th, all banks, like
Hmm.
all my three banks, have sent GTB sent first, right?
Yeah.
That they'll
That
give you 5 naira if you send dollars.
effective March 8th, they will give you 5 naira for every dollar that you send. Again,
Not
policy
for
is not
So
working.
Nigeria.
stupid. The whole thing
Uh-uh.
they did is so
Hey,
stupid.
I'm
God.
waiting
Now
for
they are in
Nin.
a mess.
I'm waiting for
They are
Nin.
in a
That's
mess.
the next and
Nin,
I'm waiting for Nin and crypto. Nin and crypto is what I'm waiting for.
no, Nin self, they've even forgotten that they even gave us what do you call it, deadline, be rules and this
Don't
thing.
mind them.
It's like they've just moved on or something. I don't know. Uh, See, I don't know why Nigerian people like to give stupid policy. The thing was working well. What was the issue now that they now changed the thing? I don't know.
Ah,
That's the thing because
Ah,
whether we're trying to control, I think we're trying to control the flow maybe of dollars. So like they wanted to know, what's coming in and out or
right.
something. But I'm like,
But they should control the flow of dollars that is inside an
don't
air-conditioned
mind them.
container in the middle of the forest first, before disturbing us that are sending small money. Ah,
exactly. And this so-called small money is a big cash inflow for the economy. Foreign
exactly.
remittances are a big cash flow, either to pay rent or to stimulate
No,
businesses,
and you
right?
stop it.
And you stop it for no reason that makes any economic sense. Yeah, trying as in dollar will float, as in so in when the thing was happening, right? Dollar moved to 460. In your
Mm,
control, has dollar really gone down? No.
No,
exactly.
So
that's the
what's the
thing.
so what's the
It's
impact? And
even
now you
going
are now
higher.
desperate. Yeah, now you're not offering me 5 naira for what?
Five
What's
flipping
this
naira.
Emefiele man? Is he on drugs or what? Because I don't. Since he entered that place, I don't know what he's doing there.
My
This
dear, it's
dollar thing.
called incentive structure. Where his bread is buttered, he knows it.
So
No.
he follows that line
That
to do
line,
stupid,
yeah,
stupid things,
exactly.
even when he knows that it's not right as an accountant or whatever he is
Yeah.
as a profession. It's ridiculous. The whole system they are just messing the economy up small, small. Knowing that majority of your population, the amount of Nigerians in diaspora are so many, you know that
Exactly.
transferring of money is normal because you have pushed a lot of people out of the country. Yet you want to frustrate that one.
Exactly.
Ah,
And they also have to ask themselves, why are people, because you can still transfer to your account in Nigeria. The issue is that, are you getting it in naira or in
or
Oh
dollars?
yeah.
And they have to ask themselves, why are people scared of transferring money to
to
their
their dumb account
exactly, it's because
Yeah.
once that money is there, to bring it out
is a
to come
Come for
problem.
voice
Many
holla.
mail.
rules, many stupid
Yeah,
nonsense
you can
that they
only
Oh,
do
do.
$200 a
Nigerians.
month. You can only do five,
Stupid rates.
as in, I'm like,
Yeah.
money that I put in there by my own
Oh,
self. They're not giving me rules and regulations.
mm.
So they need
Oh
to
God.
rethink the policies. And not just God's reaction every time. They need to rethink policies. Like, it makes zero sense. And if you're not doing and to me, if you're not, because the issue is that they now encourage people to create workarounds around the formal system,
Yeah.
which to me is a bigger problem.
Yes,
It's a
Mm-hmm.
because
bigger problem because now you have
there'll
no line
be
of sight.
off-site illegalish type of things now going on.
Exactly.
Mm.
So I don't like, we take one step forward and then 5 million steps backwards. Well,
Even the crypto
may
we're
God help
managing now,
us.
they stop that one.
Don't
Exactly.
mind that.
Oh,
And
mm,
again, I've heard crypto has created again a walk around the system. So to me, it's like, you can't, like, people will find a way. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't
yeah,
frustrate you.
people's money.
Exactly. Like, and I think all of this is, to me, around this NSAS Kinikon.
Let's be
Let's be
honest, yeah, because they didn't know people
exactly.
can foreign money can just come
Exactly, because foreign money to me
and move things.
carries that
Yes.
this thing. Not to discredit people that are based there, but it's anyway. Sorry, that was my this thing. Please, Fa, let's have
No.
you.
No, speaking of African leaders and just the nonsense that they do. So basically, I think a couple of days back, I think it was called Free Senegal. I think that was the hashtag that was trending on social media, basically. So I did a little research just to find out what's going on. So basically, it's basically political as usual. So it's between an opposition leader, his name is Ousmane Sonko, and I think the current Senegalese president, his name is Macky Sall. So basically, Macky Sall, now when this Uncle Macky Sall came into power, when he was contesting, he told people that he was going to reduce. I think Senegal has 7 years per term. So he told them he would reduce it to 5 years. And then he only said people will only have 2 terms to do. But now Uncle is saying that he wants to create a third term. So basically, he wants to go again. So that's the thing. So the main opposition person is Usman Sonko. So that person, I think he was accused of rape, and people are saying that it's political. Like, he didn't rape anybody; they just framed him for it. And I think he was on his way to court when a protest broke out. And unfortunately, of course, police with the civilians and whatever, and I think they killed a child or something. But and typically Senegal is very calm, like compared
Mm.
to other African countries, nothing happens there. So I think a couple of people were killed. I think they said 5 by now. I think now from today's report, I think it's like 5 people in general. And then they're saying that they cut like the internet. So basically, what happened during
Electricity and all that.
exactly electricity and all these things. So it's just that's basically what's going on. And then the people are saying that if you don't release our person who is that's Usman Sonko, then we're going to continue this protest. Like, we're here, like we're going to stay here and continue protesting. So that's
Hmm.
basically what's happening in Senegal. So it's the same oppression, the same bad leaders, just, because I'm so sad because Senegal is, I mean, when you think Africa, Senegal is like, I don't know if I would say they're the heartbeats of Africa, and they're very calm, like nothing happens there compared to,
The has
other
Guinea.
countries.
No, no, maybe
Yes,
you
now
can
Senegal
say
is like, I mean,
Maybe you can
it's
say
like Senegal
West
is,
Africa. In all the West African countries, Senegal is more
yeah,
advanced and
yeah,
moving forward. They are calm. People are okay there. I
exactly.
won't
A
say
lot, even
heartbeat
like
of
our
Africa,
jollof
but
rice that we even talk about, all this Ghana, Nigeria,
Don't
jollof rice is
disrespect.
Senegalese.
Don't
it
don't
started from there
disrespect.
apparently. Oh.
Don't
Senegalese. So
disrespect. So I
They even
so
said sorry. They
yeah,
even
sorry, go
said
on.
ATMs are not even working again. Like
Oh,
yeah, like it's caught
fuel prices are
everything,
increasing. Like what is all this?
freezing,
The issue is
just like
that
trying to suppress.
when you're trying to fight an opposition or something, why is it that the masses, some people that are not even like, why is it that in the end the people who will suffer, like, when two people
Yeah.
are fighting but then you shake the whole ground, and they are not
Mm-hmm.
asking for much, they're asking for what you promise. You promise something,
Promise,
now you want to
exactly.
now do third term. Haba.
Exactly. Like
Ah,
how?
no,
How?
wow.
so can I just, now that you said this, because the second you mentioned Macky Sall, the second you second, I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't read the story. A few months
Yeah.
ago, I watched a documentary about Senegal,
Mm,
right,
Mm.
in on Netflix, I think, right,
Yeah.
and it's funny but sad. So this
Mm.
Macky Sall guy was contesting against a guy called Abdoulaye Wade or Wad or something to that effect.
Yeah, the former
mm, mm,
president,
Yeah,
mm,
I
and
mm.
he
think.
had been there for a very long time.
Long
Long
time.
Yeah,
time.
and was trying to get his son to,
Yeah, to
succeed him
take
or
Take
over.
something.
over.
So
Yeah.
this Macky Sall was the face of the people trying to combat,
Mm,
what was supposed to be an autocrat. You get
Scam.
what I'm saying?
Scam.
Staying in power for a long time. If you see that documentary, you will not believe that this is the same Macky Sall
It's the
that is
same
not doing this
person,
now.
exactly.
He was the voice of the people that no,
That's
we
how
will
he
not do
won,
this, we will not do
basically.
that. That's how he won. In trying to, and almost like I know, almost like the good luck thing, right? And Buhari,
Yeah.
the goal was to get Abdoulaye out.
change.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
And this
Mm.
guy was the face of the getting Abdoulaye out. So to
Yeah.
now have the effrontery to basically do what that guy
What you
was
fought
doing.
against?
And the funny thing
It's
in that
crazy.
and the funny thing in that documentary was that even the Adulaye guy, how did he come in? There was some autocrats or military something guy before him, and he even went on exile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then came back as the guy that wants to liberate Senegal, only to get there
Oh.
and chop. Now Maki has come in as the liberator, right? Is in there chopping. Who did us? Like who did us? Is my
This
simple
guy,
question.
this Maki, as in this Makisao, he said that the other guy should not be allowed. That other guy wanted to do third term, and I'm like, you now you're coming with your third term. You said that
Ah,
nobody will do third. Like, why do you people do this? Like, the money you are stealing, the 10 years that you are there for, how many years you're there for, it's not enough. Like, how much do you really want to steal? Like, I don't like. It's still bad governance. Like African, our problem is just bad governance, and it's like it's just sad to see it's still happening, and it's not like you put anybody there, it's going to get better. No, and you just make people suffer. Well, I don't even know.
that's true. He's been there since 2012.
2012, yeah.
I mean, their own is even different. 7 years. In normal countries, is 4 years. Your own is even
Yeah, he
different.
reduced it to 5,
7 years.
I think.
Okay, you're the one that carried your hand to reduce it, but now you want to do what? He wants to
One
do
third
5,
term.
10, 15. Abba, guy.
As in power, it's like power is just maybe when he did the reduction, he didn't know that it would be this sweet.
Eh,
So he has not seen that I can't leave this sugar pots. So I have to
No.
no, but to me it's sad because I don't be like to blame because I'm also watching the journey of the African colony as well. I don't be like to
mm,
blame the colonies for how they divided
Colon,
things up
no, we blame
and
ourselves.
there's a fair argument there, but
there is.
this one right now, or
It's
where we
like,
are
guy.
right now is mostly our fault. As it's the
Mm,
greed.
Yes.
It's the greed.
Yes, greed,
It's the
greed.
greed.
agree.
You came in on a struggle, right? Why must they now have to use struggle to get you out? Why? Why?
Crazy.
Mm.
Like,
And they keep borrowing money. Look at Nigeria. Let me even leave Senegal. Nigerian people, they said they are spending 10.6 billion to transport vaccine. Where are you transporting to? Are you going to Mali? Like, what are you spending 10.6 billion? These people will just inflate, like the inflation that they put for their prices. It doesn't even make sense. Somebody will tell you that they did interior decoration in the government house for 100 million naira. What is this? Oh God.
And the thing is that,
Wow.
like, and this is what happens when you don't run. Because to me, I know people don't like capitalism. I'm a big fan of capitalism, in my opinion. It has its short,
I'm not.
you know, it has its shortcomings, but I'm a big fan of it because to me, I feel like if you run a country like a capitalist business, right? I think that waste by default kind of gets out of the system. For example, this vaccine now, this is the one that we got, the first batch, right, is mostly donated vaccine. We didn't pay cash for it. It was what the people gave us. How would you now justify spending probably more than it costs to buy the vaccine to
For
As
charity
in, I
work.
don't get.
transport? Like, do you get what I'm saying? So for me, it's like some of these things, like like if you're running a business, and so okay, let me dash you rice, right? Will you now spend double the cost of that rice to move it from where they gave you the donation to your kitchen? No, it makes no sense. You're
But
better
then
off buying the rice there. Anyway, may the Lord help
Me,
us,
I'm
because
not
I don't
just
think
saying
any.
anything because like it's round and round in the circles of life that we've
yeah, the
realized.
same thing.
Since I became an adult, I've just realized that everybody, we don't know who is normal, moving mad, especially in that Nigeria,
That's
moving
it.
mad, all of them taking us for a fool. Hmm.
And this
Taking us for idiots.
Yeah.
oh God, Efe. And this Maki guy apparently was also prime minister for a bit, so he has been in power
Yes,
for a
he's
long
been in
time.
government.
For a long
Yeah.
time. Ah, Jesus of
Senegalese
Lord.
people self, I don't even think they even care about a party, but they just want normal life, a good person. Don't
Exactly.
Normal,
come
exactly.
Change.
They're very low
see,
key people.
change, as in, just if you promise something, keep to your word.
Keep
Don't
to
come and be
it.
doing something if it doesn't make
And if you
sense.
can't
You
keep to it,
changing,
then get out.
get
Like don't
out.
come and guide
Like,
here.
I don't know
Leave
why
that place.
people want employment that they say that the employer say go away, go
I
away.
don't
Ah,
know.
God, I
But the
don't
thing is
know.
that I don't know how we check, because I think the goal of the parliament, right, is to checkmate the excesses of the presidents. But as we've seen in many African countries, the parliament or the
Wait,
senate is
Abi?
an extension, it seems, of the
Exactly.
executive. Because this 4 year or third term agenda should not be even like,
Have been passed
you
on the
can
Yeah.
have
agenda.
your wish. You can wish to go for a third term, but when it gets to the Senate or the
They
Parliament
block
floor,
it.
is where it gets blocked. So your wish is free. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I think, which is what has been happening in Nigeria. Shebi Obasanjo tried to do third term,
Yeah.
Exactly.
whatever. They blocked it because it's not, So I don't know how what has the bill been passed in Senegal yet?
I didn't check, but I think he wanted it to pass. I didn't check for that too.
See, anyway, the problem is that it's like saying HR officer and CEO. Who will listen to who now? If CEO messes up, we don't know.
Exactly. And that to me is my thing. Is like, who, like, it's like we have no recourse in
Mm,
Africa, right? Your president messes up, the Senate or the Parliament doesn't seem to have much power to do what they're supposed to do, right?
exactly.
Like, even take the US for example. Even though they didn't succeed because it was very political, in my opinion, the whole impeaching of Trump. That, I mean,
Don't know. Yeah.
that was more politics than actually any kind of facts on the
Yeah.
ground. But you can
Mm.
see that at least the Senate was moving into action. Do you get what I'm
And
saying?
moving against the
Exactly.
president.
Exactly. Even Biden that wants to pass it, well, I think the COVID bill has passed. But again, still, people in the Senate debated, right,
Mm.
to try and stop or make it go forward. So I feel like our senator now, I'm not really sure what they
No, because the
really.
presidency
No,
has a hand. He put all his brothers in the Senate from different states, or
those people
depending on.
they just dress up, they go collect allowance, and they'll be looking for who is banning bleaching cream. Very useless people. What's our business with bleaching cream when people are dying in your country? Or they will say homosexuality. Who cares about what people are doing in their private times? Pass bills that are going to benefit
Right,
the populace, not
right.
bleaching cream. This thing. Oh, this country, I don't even know. I wish they could just do a sit down. Let's meet our government. Let us just tell you our problem. In fact, should they've done it before. What happened?
No,
Let's
now how
Exactly.
can you say let's meet them and tell them our problem? They know the problem. They want the
as
problem
in they know
to
it.
continue so that they will continue to be above their populace and they will continue to share
Ridiculous.
rice during this thing because the problem is hunger and they want that hunger to remain so that they can come and give you 100 naira for you to vote PDP and APC.
No,
That is it.
African leaders, sure.
Like
Mm.
anyway, this was meant to be a gist. We have really, so let's dive into the main occasion. So let's tackle Aka and Claire. You all have seen the video, I'm hoping, I'm guessing, right? Where Aka, the ex Koza member,
What kind of yeah yeah
no, but that was
introduction of Aka is that?
no, but that's what he is now. Ex Koza that he came out publicly to
Oh
denounce
God.
Biodu and the church. So him and his wife were having an argument, or they had an argument about breastfeeding. And what we saw was kind of the aftermath of the argument, where they've seemingly cooled down a bit to like figure out how they can resolve the argument. So let me start with initial reactions to the video, because to me, I don't get social media these days. But let me not add my gift, please. FA, let's give us a start, because we were quite quiet in the discourse on the WhatsApp.
Let me not lie. Oh, I did not watch it.
Eka, can we please start with you? Text, can we, like, when people have
Initial
homework to do in this group, we don't need to do it. Please, Eka, can we have you?
initial reaction to the video was the fact first of all, at one point I was boiling watching it. So I had to calm down and say, listen to the end. There is a lesson to be learned. There's a reason why it has been posted. So don't boil when the people in the video are not boiling like you are. So why I'm saying that is because why I was boiling is because my first assumption, let me say, because at that time when I watched the video initially, I didn't know what caused the fights. You understand what
Mm,
caused the argument of the breastfeeding. So basically, where I was coming from is that I was seeing a husband and wife arguing about what do you call it? Arguing about breastfeeding of a child. And what I learned from the video is that this, first of all, is their first child. Secondly,
mm,
they are obviously new parents. Thirdly, she had issues with breastfeeding. Like her breast was not producing milk for the first 2 weeks when her child was born, which is not an uncommon thing. A lot of women go through that. When they give birth, sometimes it doesn't automatically come out. So she
yeah.
had problems in the first 2 weeks. Then after on the third week, the milk started coming out, but I don't think I believe that the milk was still not enough. So she was not producing enough milk for the child. So they had to,
Mm,
and obviously because first 2 weeks you're not producing milk, so they had to introduce formula into it. So, and I
yeah.
believe initially they didn't want to, they wanted to put the child on only breast milk for a few months or even a year or whatever it is that they were planning to do. So I'm sure they were disappointed that they had to
Mm,
introduce formula to the picture. And I believe this is now 2 months in now that they're having this argument. I believe 2 months
mm,
in, what has then happened is that this topic of exclusivity of breast milk only has come up, and it has come up from the husband, and the wife is now probably triggered that, Ogbeni, you know where we are coming from, don't come and stress me. That was my initial this thing. I assumed that this guy has asked a question or tried to help in an insensitive manner, forgetting that there has been a back history here. And that is why I was boiling for the guy, because even in the video, he seemed to be trying to prove a point, which I was like, the point doesn't need to be proven now because there's already a mess up. I guess he reacted badly as well, but there's already a mess up of trying to say, and which now brought this thing of, oh no, that don't make me feel bad because I'm trying to see how we can solve the issue. But the main bottom line of the whole story was that, my own was that, where you people are coming from. Don't come and be adding Maggie to the salt when we have reached at least 2 months down the line, we have reached a system that is working. I'm breastfeeding most of the time, but 2 times in a day, she's still taking formula.
Mm.
Until I now read the his post and saw that the question he asked self was again to my absorption rights insensitive
It's
at the
my
time.
assumption, right?
Yes.
Okay. So sorry. Are you done? Can I?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope the people listening will understand the story if they didn't watch it like if
No,
they.
I think you did a fantastic job of recapping the story. So I will give my opinion, or let me start by saying this. I think that in the in in the handling of the issue that we saw on the video, I give maximum props to Claire. I think she's definitely
Mm.
the better
Yes.
communicator and the more
Yes.
mature person, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, in that situation, or the more at least the more
Karma.
emotionally
Yes.
mature. Because to me, I don't even want to use calm. Right, to me,
Mm.
it's just the maturity to know that we can't both be hot at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I give her maximum props there. What
Mm.
I didn't like, and this is where I got into an argument with my sister, because I call them Twitter feminists, right?
Mm.
Of which, I mean, I'm a feminist, but there's something about the Twitter brand that's a bit off
Mm.
sometimes.
Mm.
So my what I had, because my initial reaction watching the video was, okay, this is like a normal couple argument. I didn't feel
Conversation.
feel
Not
feel
even. Yeah.
feel yeah feel like, like I didn't get the whole like boiling, like I'm like, okay, they're just normal arguments. Now I did feel like he wasn't listening as well as he could have been listening, but I'm like, okay, this is
Mm.
normal couple stuff. Where I want to go though is that what I didn't like about the backlash, and there's this guy again, Solomon Bucci, that said it. I don't always agree with Solomon Bucci, by the way, but
Mhm.
I think he said this in a way that we cancel so quickly, right? Like,
Mm.
or we, what's the word I'm looking for now, like we like we've branded Aka as something on the basis
Mm.
of this conversation, right?
Mm.
And for me it
Yeah.
makes me uncomfortable, because to me I feel like the vision that I have for my partner and me, right, is one where you should feel comfortable expressing yourself,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Once anybody has to walk around eggshells in expressing themselves, we're already in a problem.
Yeah.
It's not, and that doesn't mean that you say it, wah, anyhow, right?
Mm.
But you should be able to express yourself. So this whole idea that because it's not a man's body that forms a child, that feeds a child, that goes through the whole childbearing process, that he should just somehow, like, there's even one saying that the second you start breastfeeding, then you can talk, right? For me, I just felt like we keep on going back and forth between when someone needs to be involved in his child rearing and when we want him to sit back,
Mm.
and it seems to all be aligned with when it favors us,
Mm.
right? If a father is trying to be involved in his child's life beyond just the I pay for his school fees, right? I feel like you should
Yeah.
have a say so. Now you have
Mm.
a say so from the understanding that you are not the executioner, right?
Mm.
So I'm appealing to you to consider
A
my
certain way. Yeah.
yeah, a certain way. Now you can
Mm.
tell me that, okay, no, but the no should hopefully be no because it hurts me, not
Mm.
because I don't feel like it. So for
Mm.
example, because I was thinking of me, for example, I have, like, I know what they claim that the World Health says that breastfeeding is great, wonderful, like,
Mm.
cool stuffs. I have no issues as of today exclusively bottle feeding
Mm.
my child. Like, I have no
Mm.
issues whatsoever, like giving that baby formula from day
One.
zero,
Mm.
right? Now if my husband says that, okay, babe, this is a little bit too much, like, can we introduce um breastfeeding, and I'm able to express,
Mm.
right? I feel like it may be painful, but maybe what I would say is, okay, I can't do exclusive, I can't do most of the time, right? But I can introduce it versus saying, only formula, right?
Mm.
That to me is where I feel like we should be handling these things. Not, oh, it's my, or even would be like sex, yeah. I'm not saying that you should always have sex because he wants to, right?
Mm.
But I don't think that every sex time would be when you are comfortable 100%. As in, you get what I'm saying? Some days you're tired, you're like, okay, honey, just do what you need to do and let's move on. As in, you get what I'm trying to say? So like this whole is my body. Let's also, until you're a woman, don't talk. For me, I feel like that hampers communication in a healthy relationship, in my opinion.
Do you know what? Funny enough, I didn't see this story on Twitter, so I don't know what they were doing there. Why I say that is because, like a lot of the time, we try not to have, because if these conversations are not had between, like if Aka and Claire did not have the conversation, Claire will not learn, Aka will not learn. Because
Right.
when I even saw the post on Instagram, Aka said what Aka's first, in capital letters, Aka said, "Men, you need to see this." So I'm guessing that the conversation, the arguments, whatever you want to call it, brought about an understanding from Aka that, okay, now I now know I cannot be coming with my, okay, in this relationship, me Aka, I am more logical, and this thing I can't be coming like that and hitting a woman that there's so many things that is in her head, so she's interpreting what I am saying differently to how I'm saying it, so I might need to say it in a different way, especially because I cannot do what I'm asking of her. So for him to have gotten to that point, they needed to have this fight. If you don't get to this point, like you can't say because it is not your body, you don't have a say. But then you can't now say that and expect the man to understand when, because for example now, if I am going through PMS, I
Mm-hmm.
need to have conversations with the man so
Yeah,
that he would
so
understand
As a
that this
shareholder.
is what I go through exactly, so that he will know how to approach during that time. But if we don't go through that conversation and I say, keep quiet, it's my body, you don't understand, brother, he will just be moving around in the house, not
yeah,
knowing who he offended and why you're acting up or what. So it has
where
to
you
be,
slapping?
yeah, so it has to be an education. And I appreciated the fact that they were vulnerable enough to post
Mm.
that online, because it taught everybody to see that, okay, people can is miscommunication, and it happens a lot, even outside marriages. I can say
Mm-hmm,
A now and if they will
mm-hmm,
hear B, and it will now be a problem. You
mm,
understand? Because
Right.
it's two different human beings, and this one is two different genders that operate in two different manners. One cannot produce milk, one can produce milk. The one that cannot produce milk is taking the milk production as a project. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that it doesn't work like that. The one that is now producing the milk is offended because you're now using me as project when I cannot be doing that project management that you're doing with milk production. So once they reach, luckily, because some people might have used this one now, this kind of thing used to cause problem and divorce and marriage end.
Right.
At least they got to this point where now they understand themselves. So I know Aka now, in future, he will know how to approach this kind of thing. Claire will know maybe that he's not coming from a place where he wants to call you a milk tank or something. He's just trying to see how to help. So everybody will now guard their emotions and now respond in, because somebody told me one time, there's one time I was having an argument with somebody, and the person told me that, look, always remember that I didn't wake up in the morning, like, for the fact that both of us love each other, I didn't wake up in the morning ready to kill you. As
Yeah.
in, I didn't wake up intentionally looking for your trouble. I just
yeah,
asked a question, and like, don't attack me thinking that I came to like attack you. Realize that maybe I know there are some people that wake up to attack you because there are some people that are ready, that are on a fighting this thing. But then I
and
understand that if yesterday both of us were cool, I can't just wake up this morning and just come and just say something to offend you on purpose. I probably did it without knowing that it will offend you, if that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah.
And plus, I wanted to add two quick things. One is the idea that I think that, because I think I'm more like Aka and my sister is more like Claire. For
Mm.
example, I'm
Me,
very
I'm clear,
structured.
oh, by the way. I'm
Like,
clear.
I like structure. Like I tend to project manage. My sister likes things to be fluid, and
Mm,
to me, I think that they may have been having this communication issues since,
mm,
right? But it's just this breast milk one that is kind of bringing it home, because
mm,
before now it's like, oh, this is how I am. This is how, you know you are,
You are. We
but
can manage ourselves.
exactly, but now it's on a different dimension. So for me, I feel like rather than kill him as, oh, he's a anti-woman kiniko, maybe they've been communicating this way before, and they hadn't found a way to resolve. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he project manages everything, and she's more
Mm,
like less fluid, right?
mm,
That's one. Two, I feel like sometimes in this whole women are the pregnancy hormone carriers, and that is true, right? We sometimes neglect that you are co-parenting with somebody else that's also being stressed out. So I saw
mm.
in that post
Yeah.
yesterday, I think it was like a Christian couple kind of thing, right? The mom was like, they've been
I
parenting for
saw
like,
that one.
yeah, a few
Yeah.
months, right? And like they had to like break down and cry
And
to,
cry, both of
yeah,
them.
together, because they were both stressed out, right?
Mm.
So do we now say that the man's feelings are not important because he's not the one breastfeeding, he didn't carry the child for 9 months, and then we now say that,
Mm,
oh, we want men to be more vulnerable? How?
Mm.
How? I say,
mm,
how? So for me, I'm not saying that men's own should be valued more than women, because again, they don't bear the brunt of it. But I feel like you need to carry your partner along. Like you say that,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's suffering, so therefore go to hell. Hey, if that's how you want to handle it, by all means. 'Cause I feel like there's also the idea that set your boundaries, Abi,
mm,
let other people align.
Mm.
Wonderful. If that's what you want to do, you know, wonderful.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like if this is a partner of yours, I don't see why the
Mm-hmm.
word ends in us trying to do what they did, what I can clear did, and try to let's argue and come to a, like, the second,
conclusion.
exactly, the second you stop trying to make it work. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the second, to me, that I feel like you start losing the relationship, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
Yeah.
Because again, to your point, Eka, I don't think he was coming from a place where I'm trying to argue with you. Like that
mm,
was not his intention in the morning, right? Now, if your
mm,
man or woman is like that, then sorry, maybe break up.
mm,
But if you really believe that this person has my best interest at heart, then
mm,
come at it from a different angle than, well, it's my body, so therefore go to hell.
Yeah.
mm.
So I
But
don't want to
I must
see
I
us
must
out.
add that it's not also easy for you as the female when he's coming and asking the question in a way that doesn't make sense to you in your head that time, especially when you're breastfeeding, the child is even biting your nipples, and then you're coming to come and say, I'd like us to stop this formula.
No, no,
You
Eka,
know,
I don't disagree.
unfortunately, at that
Yeah.
time, which is why I believe she was also apologizing. At that time, she lashed out probably because she's like, guy, it's not now. You should come and be telling me this one. You understand? So
No,
it's
that's what I'm saying. We're both stressed. So to me,
mm,
no one is wrong for their initial lash out. My
reactions. Yeah,
my
yeah.
my thing is, do you stay? Because again, as a woman, if she stands on the right that you were insensitive, she's right.
Mm,
She's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right? But as a partner in a relationship, do you stand on that right? Or
Mm.
do you do what she did and try and bridge the gap? And that's kind
And
of where I'm
come to
going
an
to.
understanding. Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah,
she has
yeah.
all the right to stand on the fact that I'm the one that carried the child. I'm breastfeeding. It hurts. So how
Mm.
dare you tell me you
Open
want
your
to do?
mouth
Yeah,
now.
you can stand on that till tomorrow, and she will be right. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
again, you are the one sharing this house with this person. Is that the environment you want to create
Yes,
in your
that's the
house?
thing.
And for
Mm,
me, that word to me, I'm like, we have to have more grace again. Your partner is sensible. If you marry a mad person, sister and
that's
brother,
the thing.
that's a different case. But if
Because
the person is sensible,
there has to be a point where we say, how do we move forward? Let's come and sit down on the table
exactly,
and discuss, which
right.
is what they did. It is well, oh.
So
It
Claire,
is well.
thank you for
And Aka,
being
Claire, thank
strong.
you for being a calm girl because
As
Yeah.
me, I
in,
wouldn't have been calm. Sorry.
wait, but
Any.
Eka, if you're not calm, what's Olori and me? What will happen? Eka is not calm.
I don't
Oh, let
know,
me just say, I don't like what I hate. So personally, if that was me, I would just be like, Oga, just leave this room now. Like, just leave it before I start. Leave. Like,
no, it's a lorry that will be able to sit down and like clear and do all that one.